Morning, welcome back to TDM, the Dystopian Man, and you're here with your host, TDM. As we're seeing, the balloon is in full effect, so get your ledger link in the description. You can also donate to the channel, to the wallets in the description, using ADA, Bitcoin, or Ethereum. So let's get straight into this. It's very big, interesting news here, and it is Trump proposes crypto tax cuts target US made tokens for tax exemption. So if you've got like XRP in your wallet, you're doing okay. ADA, there's another one, I think Constellation DAG, very low market cap, might be something to look into at the moment. So the 2024 election has placed cryptocurrencies at the heart of political discussions. Donald Trump, widely supported within the crypto community, has introduced a tax proposal that could further strengthen his appeal among crypto advocates. In a recent interview, he advocates for eliminating crypto gains tax on crypto transactions. They have them paying tax on crypto, and I don't think that's right, Trump said. Bitcoin is money. Money, 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 money. Money. And you have to pay capital gains tax if you use it to buy coffee. I was talking with a friend, he said it really shouldn't be taxed, and I agree. Maybe we should get rid of taxes on crypto and replace it with tariffs. I mean, it sounds kind of positive and bullish, but to me, it just seems like you're replacing the word with taxes with tariffs. But this proposal directly addresses a common frustration among crypto users, the complexity of capital gains tax on routine purchases. For instance, when Bitcoin is used to buy coffee, users must pay tax on any increase in its value since purchase. Such requirements discourage people from using digital currencies for everyday transactions. And it's very true. That's something that's going on in the UK at the moment. A lot of people in the UK are just fed up with how the government are treating crypto. It's absolutely abysmal. Everything going up in the UK, and it's just annoying. Like, I've got a lot of crypto, and I don't want to sell it just because of how the UK is behaving at the moment. It's absolutely frigging ridiculous. Keir Starmer out. Meanwhile, Vice President Kamala Harris proposed higher long-term capital gain taxes. Under her plan, the top rate would rise to 28% for individuals earning over 1 million annually. This contrasts with President Biden's proposed budget for 2025, which suggests increasing the tax to 39.6% for top earners. You're taking the mick. Right? It's like, right, so you've done well in your life, right? So you're going to get taxed more. The people who haven't done well in their lives and decided to mess around for the past 20 years, you have to pay for them. That's what it is, and it's absolutely ridiculous. However, should Trump win the presidency and Republicans control Congress, capital gains tax hikes would likely be ruled out, according to Erica York, senior economist at the Tax Foundation. And this is what really annoyed me about a lot of people in America, right? As when it came to the voting. There was complaining about not having any money. There was complaining about not having cheaper groceries, right? They were complaining about not being able to feed their families. And you've got this guy saying he's the crypto president, and before he got in, you could have bought a boatload of crypto, right, and just voted Trump. Now you got your groceries. Now you can pay for, and this is the problem, right? I'm so glad that so many people in America voted for their bags and policy instead of identity politics, right? Those people who voted for their bags really changed the future moving forward for cryptocurrency, and you have my thanks on that. And we need to do the same over here in the UK. So, Trump's crypto tax plan, US tokens only. Trump's proposal aims to eliminate capital gains tax on US made cryptocurrencies, promoting their use in daily transactions. He emphasized a preference for domestically produced tokens, excluding Chinese made ones. Trump's strategic move contrasts with Italy's recent decision to impose a 42% tax on Bitcoin capital gains. The thing is, you can either see this as negative or positive, right? The reason why I see it as positive, in a sense, right, in terms of imposing a 42% tax on Bitcoin capital gains, because they're proposing imposing a 42% tax on Bitcoin capital gains. How high do they think Bitcoin's going to go? That's the reason why it's so high, right? They're not thinking they're going to get half of a penny. When this goes to 1 million, which in my opinion it is going to, not financial advice, imagine the 42% capital gains tax on all of those gains. It's crazy what they're trying to do. So higher earners face the net investment income tax, NIIT, of 3.8% on capital gains. interest, dividends, and rents. When modified, adjusted gross income surpasses set thresholds. For single filers, the limit is 200,000, while for married couples, it's 250,000 with no adjustments for inflation. Combining this with long-term capital gains taxes, high earners pay up to 23.8% on investments. And you have the table there. Yeah, I mean, it's decent. Well, it's better than it is, isn't it? So you can't really complain. So Republicans may attempt to eliminate the NIIT through experts like Howard Gleckman from the Urban Brookings Tax Policy Center warn they could significantly worsen the federal debt budget deficit, which reached 1.8 trillion in fiscal 2024. Trump's proposal excludes most tokens, including Ethereum, but includes popular cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin, XRP. Trump believes that Bitcoin and similar assets should be treated like other forms of money, free from additional taxes. His stance aligns with his earlier calls to replace income taxes with tariffs. So Trump advocates for tariffs over income tax. Trump emphasizes this point, suggesting that tariffs could replace federal income taxes. During an interview with Joe Rogan, he confirmed his stance, saying, "Why not? However, shifting the revenue source from income taxes to tariffs would require a substantial increase in tariffs, which currently contribute only about 2% of federal revenue." So this is why I'm saying to people, just keep your eyes open and watching this. Because just like I said, it could just be you're calling it tariffs instead of tax. It pretty much leads up to the same thing. That's what they did over here in the UK. Oh, we're not going to up taxes, we're not going to up taxes. Bam, drop 44 billion taxes on everybody. And then they wonder why everybody's upset. So when we were a smart country in the 1890s, this is when the country was relatively the richest it ever was. It had all tariffs. It didn't have an income tax, Trump said while speaking with a group of barbers in the Bronx. Now we have income taxes and we have people that are dying. They're paying tax and they don't have the money to pay the tax. Despite the challenges, Trump's campaign advisor, Jason Miller, sees this shift as a long-term objective. He also pointed out that former presidents immediate focus would be to extend provisions from the 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act and implement target tax cuts. Reducing the tax burden has become a cornerstone of Trump's campaign, with promises to eliminate taxes on tips, Social Security benefits, and overtime pay. I think overtime pay definitely. You're trying to work overtime to feed for your family, and they're still taking off that. So while discussions of abolishing income taxes for individuals has been frequent, there has been little mention of the fate of corporate income and payroll taxes. So this is what I really wanted to get into. So the US Bitcoin reserve plan could ignite global crypto arms race. Seeing this news, right? This is why I'm still buying Bitcoin at 90,000, at 93,000, right? At 100,000. You've just seen Michael Saylor buy 2 billions worth at the top. This is why. Okay? You can front run this now if this happens. There's still money sat on the sidelines. There's still money sat on the sidelines. I was looking at the crypto market compared to the S&P 500. We're at something like, I think it was 3 trillion, 2 to 3 trillion. The S&P 500 is 43 trillion market cap. There is still so much growth to come from this market. You're early. You're still early. You're late in a sense, but you're still way early because I'll say it again. Will crypto be worth more before regulations or after regulations? At the moment in time, we're still before regulations. What do you think is going to happen when the US regulate crypto? I keep saying it. It's not financial advice, but I keep saying it. Right, so let's get into this. So, Senator Cynthia Lummis recently outlined a bold proposal. Within 100 days of Donald Trump's return to the presidency, she envisions a strategic Bitcoin acquisition initiative by the US government. According to host of Crypto Iris, I'm George, you're George, we're all George. This plan would involve purchasing up to 5% of the total Bitcoin supply to establish a reserve intended for a national debt repayment over the next 2 decades. Tung explores the potentially explosive impact of this policy, which he says could lead to an unprecedented buying frenzy with possible geopolitical ramifications. Tung sees this buying pressure as massive, stating that a lot of buying pressure, that is going to be a lot, especially considering the additional demand from the ETFs, retail investors, and other entities. For example, you've got Bhutan mining, you've got El Salvador, You know, you've got countries mining Bitcoin, and then the US are coming in late to the party, but they're the ones with the most money. So he speculates that the US purchase could provoke reactions from other countries, suggesting, do you think Putin and Xi are going to sit back and let the US buy up 5% of the supply of Bitcoin? According to Tung, rival nations might escalate their own acquisitions, saying they might say, well, if they're going to buy 5%, we're going to buy 10%. And it's crazy because all these countries do have the power to do this, because all they have to do is keep printing, and then just buy Bitcoin. It really is that simple. It's crazy. So the scenario Tung describes grows even more intense if corporations join the race, such as BlackRock's speculating involvement. He asserts if 4 entities try to buy 40% of the supply, that alone will drive Bitcoin into the millions. Michael Saylor, we already know, would love to do that. I think Larry Fink would more likely like to do that. I think America's going to get on the trade and they're going to be like, maybe we need more than 5%. And like I say, you've got Bhutan, El Salvador, and me. So he highlights how the limited supply of Bitcoin mining. He highlights how limited the supply of Bitcoin is, mentioning that even small countries like Bhutan and El Salvador have already started acquiring significant amounts of Bitcoin. Fundstrat analyst Sean Fannot recently used the same logic to say he may need to adjust his 115,000 price target higher, emphasizing Bitcoin's rarity. Remember, we're talking about the rarest asset on the planet. Tung states there's just not enough to go around. Nothing that demands significantly outstrips supply. He argues that the scarcity combined with Bitcoin's fixed supply underpins its value, calling it the scarcest asset that we have. To him, this is the primary reason Bitcoin will continue to rise in value. Finally, Tung underscores Bitcoin's resilience against government control, saying it's the most valuable network on the planet, the only network that no country can block. In his view, the decentralized and unregulated nature of Bitcoin paired with its scarcity renders it the most priceless asset and network we have on the planet. And to be in the top 1% of holders, you need 0.25% of Bitcoin. 0.25 Bitcoin. Think about that. People who hold Bitcoin, in my opinion, in the future are going to be very well off. Very well off. You've seen what it's done already, right? And I think it's important. I mean, even what was her name? Senator Warren, she got promoted. It's important to get these people out. They were stopping you from buying crypto when it was $1. Bitcoin when it was $1, when it was $10, when it was $20, when it was $1,000, when it was $50,000, when it was 40,000, when it was 70,000, 80,000. Right? They were saying, oh, you shouldn't buy it. It's used by fraudsters. You could have got in there and changed your life for the better. And it's really sad if you were sat on the sidelines because of what they said. So Cardano Foundation released a 2023 financial report unveiling expenses across 3 major areas. Let's have a look. So Cardano Foundation, the non-profit organization behind the Cardano ecosystem, has unveiled its financial report for 2023, detailing its expenses across 3 major areas. Notably, the Finance Insight reports is the founders' first and part of its efforts to uphold the principles of transparency and openness. Thank you. So, per the Cardano Foundation's revelations, it spent a total of $23.77 million across 3 focus areas. The organization spent $2.12 million on operational resilience, $4.18 million on education, and $12.92 million on adoption, and $4.55 million on central operational costs. The $2.12 million allocated to operational resilience was spent on improving Cardano's sustainability, reliability, and durability as an infrastructure for institutional grade use cases. The foundation ran the network for over 2,000 days without interruption, supported the Valentine hard fork, refined state board delegation, and tested new decentralized governance mechanisms. That is one thing I have to say about Cardano, that it does not go down. When I was big into the Cardano ecosystem, when I was buying all the NFTs and everything, it ran well. Really did run well. It was just such a shame that it just didn't seem to do anything. There was just never any sort of partnerships or anything that really boosted it. But now we're seeing NASA and certain things coming into Cardano, so hopefully the price has exploded. I was a fool for selling early. Well, was that because I put it into XRP? So yeah, but I wish I would have held on to more of that either. So for education, the Cardano founders supported research, promoted discussion and debate, explaining blockchain concepts for stakeholders and provide reliable information to support regulatory clarity. In addition, the organization launched the Cardano Academy, hosted the Cardano 2023 Summit in Dubai, and facilitated the Let's Talk Cardano webinar. So the adoption area received the most funds as Cardano looked to create conditions for increased utility and advancing tooling to develop new use cases. The foundation launched an open source programming language to simplify smart contract development and developed new solutions like Identify Wallet and Ledger Sync. They're pretty sick. They're doing well. They're doing well, and it's nice to see these things. Right? I'm not going to go. You can read the whole thing if you want. So I'm not going to go into it all, but you can read the whole thing. But it's pretty. Just jeez, off the screen. What was that? What? Jeez, you see it again. So here we are. So the crypto surge comes on pledge to be on Trump's pledge to be the crypto president. Right. So Donald Trump's win is perceived as a significant turning point for digital assets. The cryptocurrency industry expects a massive switch in policy. Investors anticipate Trump to deliver on the campaign promises with the projected Republican majority in Congress. So they literally just swiped. This is what people don't seem to understand on the left. They sweeped everything. Why have they managed to sweep everything? Because people are tired of you. So this includes appointments of crypto-friendly officials across regulatory agencies and pro-crypto executive boards. Businesses experts say that Trump will act on his pledge as a crypto president, and he will use executive orders to prevent banks from blocking crypto firms. While the favor cooled on Thursday and Friday, Bitcoin continued its rally and is still close to its record high of 93,000. I think what's going to happen when Trump starts buying, right? When Michael Saylor keeps buying, what do you think really is going to happen when Bitcoin hits, say it hits 150k? What do you think is going to happen? Do you think the regular people aren't going to flock to it? Even when it goes over to 100k, people are going to be like, oh, it could go to, because retail is back. I must have seen a post the other day. And it said, I've got 10 Dogecoin. Somebody said this could go up to 1 million. If 10 Dogecoin goes up to 1 million, I'll regret that I didn't buy 10, but retail is back. Retail is back. But what I'm saying is, if we go to the price where Bitcoin is more than a house, sorry, I've got a cold, but if Bitcoin is more than a house, and you can, and they make some way to stake Bitcoin, and then the next minute you're getting rental income, the same as rental income, without having to do with any tenants, right? Any stress. What do you think? What do you think that's going to do to the price of Bitcoin? So some analysts now project the OG token to reach the $100,000 mark. I think, no, not financial advice. I think we'll hit that by Christmas. The re-election, unless we have any sort of black swans. The re-election of Trump has set the stage for the adoption of crypto legislation. Crypto companies were under regulatory scrutiny from the SEC and other agencies during the Biden administration. Several enforcement actions were implemented which hindered the industry's growth. A crypto-friendly regulatory environment is something Trump has proposed. Executives from the sector have been pushing for reforms such as the establishment of an advisory council for digital assets and the appointment of a new chair of the Security and Exchange Commission. Blockchain and crypto companies like Kraken are optimistic because they see chances to expedite approval processes. That will help crypto firms to grow without any fears of regulatory interference. Also, Trump has promised to fire Gary Gensler, the head of the US market regulator. Gary is widely believed to be anti-crypto. The industry has lobbied pro-crypto congressional candidates, spending over $190 million in the last election cycle. The cryptocurrency industry is feeling more optimistic thanks to Trump's ambitious plan for a US Bitcoin strategic reserve, and it's not been put in yet. He said he's doing it, which is more likely going to happen, and you're still not front running the news. You're still not buying. It's not financial advice. I'm about to go buy some more after this. So, according to industry executives, a new era will legitimize digital assets in mainstream finance. This may push for more transparency in regulatory mandates and sturdy crypto economy. Are you going to keep sleeping, people? That is the question. You're going to keep sleeping. Like, let me know what you think in the chat, how much you think Bitcoin is going to be 2030. Right? Because these are the things that you should be thinking now. You know all this is coming. If you remember, right, when America was in Afghanistan, I think they had like a 10-year bull run. I think the market went up for like 10 years. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen here, right? But what I am saying is that when you look at the macroeconomic side of things as well, Putin's already come out saying he's happy Trump's saying he'd like to work with Trump and they want to get Ukraine resolved. X's like, yes, Trump, we're all good. Right? It seems that all the issues that was coming in the Biden administration are about to be resolved, and we may have a time of peace where things can just grow. If that happens and you're not in the market, I genuinely think people are going to struggle in the future if they don't have any assets whatsoever. Genuinely, I do. Right? Rich people are buying up everything, all the land, all the properties, all the stocks, all the crypto, everything. If you look into it, they're buying up everything, and they know why they're buying it up. And if you're sat on the sidelines not buying anything right now, have a word with yourself. Because you could have bought Bitcoin at 80,000, 70,000, 50,000 and be in profit now, sat happy. But you didn't. So, but anyway, like and subscribe. Please donate to the channel so I can do this full time and help you guys. And let's make some millionaires on this channel. It's TDM, the Dystopian Man. Back with you later. Peace.